welcome to Health Talks. Today we're going to chat to you about morning routines, which is a really important part of your wellness agenda. I never used to be a morning person, but ever since I started to carve out a really elegant morning routine, my life has completely changed.
So what does your routine look like?
Well, it's pretty involved. I used to, before I decided to have a morning routine, I would get up whenever my alarm went off or whenever I'd snoozed a few times, and I'd hit the ground running and always head into my day really rushed. Whereas now I make sure that I get up and I give myself about an hour to really dedicate that time to me, just to sort of, to really get myself in a good space for the day ahead. So I'll get up, I will go upstairs, I'll get my clay to drink the clay, draw out the toxins, and then I'll get my oil. I'll do oil pulling for 20 minutes. And while I'm doing the swishing, I'll lie in bed and read a book or do some morning pages or journaling or something. And then after that, I'll do some dry body brushing, and then I'll have a shower, and then I'll meditate for 30 minutes. And then it's downstairs to start my juicing, breakfast, and then into the day.
And that takes around an hour.
It takes about an hour, yeah.
And what about your enemas? Where do they fit in now?
Well, that used to be part of my morning routine, so then I had to get up even earlier, half an hour earlier. But now that I only do 2 a day as opposed to 5 a day, I've moved that till later in the morning.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what is the main benefit of taking this time for you? Because I know for me, I feel completely different.
Yeah.
As opposed to what you said, getting up and kind of go straight into the day.
Yeah, well, it just makes the rest of the day flow because you're calm. And
I think what it does, it grounds you.
it grounds you, yeah. And I find it kind of lets you off the hook for the rest of the day. You've done all of this really healthy stuff for yourself. I mean, you've honored yourself. It's all about self-care, self-love, and self-kindness. That's my biggest message. And to me, having that real elegant morning routine is the biggest and best way that you can show your self-love.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
absolutely.
Yeah. So what about you, Mel?
Mine, I kind of rise with the sun as well in summer.
Yeah.
In winter, I sleep in a little
Yeah,
bit
me
longer.
too.
But I get up and the first thing I do, wash my face, do my tongue cleaner.
Awesome.
And
What?
haven't you heard
You
about
know,
this?
in Chinese medicine, how bad scraping, you're talking about scraping your tongue?
Why?
Because it's a reflection of so much about you, and it tells you exactly what's going on, and
Oh my
it's the
God.
first part of your digestion, like that's where everything starts to occur in your mouth.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
what are you
God.
scraping that off for?
I thought it was a good thing to do.
What do you actually scrape it off with?
The tongue cleaners. You know those tongue cleaners? Oh my God. I thought
You've been watching too many Colgate ads.
Colgate. No, I thought it's quite an Ayurvedic technique.
Right.
And that's where I
From a
learnt
Chinese
it.
medicine
Wow,
perspective,
isn't that interesting?
that's where your digestion starts. You've got, everything in your mouth, your saliva and your tongue bacteria is where the digestion process begins.
Wow.
Because in Ayurveda, it's like that's where all throughout the night the toxins
Yeah.
sitting on your tongue. So that's kind of scraping them out, getting them out, so you're not swallowing them back again.
Right. Well, there you
So
go.
interesting. Wow.
So there's 2 different sides.
Learn something new every
Anyway,
day.
carry on as you were. Don't mind me.
So I probably will be cutting out my tongue cleaning now, so I won't be doing that anymore. But after that, I go and meditate for 20 minutes, usually on my balcony, and sit with the sun on my face, which is really beautiful. And then I go straight and exercise. So I'll do either yoga, or I'll go to the gym, or I'll go do some soft sand running or a swim, something like that. And then I come back, do some journaling and green juice, and it's breakfast time. And then I'm shower, body brush, ready for my day.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I find when I do that, like, it's like my coffee for the day.
Yeah.
It sets me up for the day. I'm so much calmer. I'm not hitting the ground running. I'm not like checking emails or checking my phone straight away. That kind of sends me in this little bit of a frenzy.
Yeah. It's like it gently wakes you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than slapping yourself awake. You're like, gently waking yourself up.
Yeah.
But Nat, I want to hear about yours because you have kitties.
I do.
2 of them.
I do. And my routine will, the routine that I would like to have and the routine I do have may vary.
Yeah.
And that might be something different every day just because my start to my day will either be when my son decides to wake up. Or if I get up before the kids, then I actually do have, a general routine about what I do. But it's more about setting up my morning so that the rest of my day, yes, can not, be a frenzy.
Yeah.
So when I generally get up, it's all about just, if I get half an hour to myself, that's awesome. And I actually get myself ready for the day, take a shower, try and maybe have some lemon water and, lemon in hot water before I have anything else in my tummy. If I get the chance to actually sit on my own and even for 5 minutes meditate, that's a bonus. Normally by then the kids are up, so it's all about getting them organised and out the door and making healthy breakfast for them, because that for me is setting them up for the day, and then I feel better with that too. I've recently made undone the habit of checking emails in the morning.
Yes.
Or if I do, sometimes I'll do them on my phone if I know that I'm expecting things, but I do not turn my laptop on in the morning anymore. It is a disaster for me because I get engrossed in it and then I can't get out the door. So I do a lot of things on my phone before I leave. And if it's a day that I'm not working, then I try and actually just let things run after that. But I find that if I follow that structure of me and then breakfast and the kids, my day is much smoother. Ideally, I'd love to do things like, exercise, but it's just not possible because you've got two little people running around. So I find for me that the nicest thing in the morning for me is my shower. Because it's me time. Absolutely.
I was going to say, even if that is the only time that you have to yourself, use that time, like you say, to really, I don't know, repeat affirmations to yourself, or
absolutely, and so it's,
visualize how you want your day to unfold.
Absolutely, and I mean the reality is that if you do have children, then your day is going to look very different from these guys, but that's okay. You just have to work out what works for you. But you might have to try a few things. Now, if I'm honest, sometimes my routine is out the window, and it's a wake up frenzy out the door. We woke up the other day at 9 o'clock, and I had all sorts of phone calls, and everyone was wondering where I was. I was supposed to be somewhere at 10. Reality is you've just got to then do the bare minimum. But I think it's still possible to try and get out the door without that frenzy and that, slap in the face that you're talking about.
And I think definitely checking emails and checking phone out of the morning area has helped me so much.
I get on my phone and I go through maybe a little bit of Instagram, or I read the Daily Love every day. That's actually part of my morning routine because it's so beautiful, and it really it kind of sets the tone for my day. Whatever Maston writes on there is brilliant.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So how can people start to create a little morning routine for themselves?
Well, just if you need to get up earlier, if you're not a morning person, just make yourself be one. That's how I did it. I always said I could never be a morning person. I always thought that morning people thought morning people were annoying, those 5 a.m. joggers that were just chirpy.
Someone thinking they must not have a life. And then it wasn't until I started to, really pay attention to myself that I would be one of those people out walking at 5:30. This is before I had children, and I was that person.
And you can make it happen.
Absolutely.
Try and just set the alarm earlier. Make a deal with yourself that you're not going to hit that snooze button, and just get out of bed. And try and do it for about 30 days and see how you go, because your body will get used to it.
And it will start to feel amazing.
It will start to feel amazing. And now if I sleep in, I just feel grumpy. I feel musty, and grumpy, and the day just doesn't go as well. So I know that I'm doing myself a massive favour by sticking to this.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Well, if you have a morning routine, we would love to hear about it. So leave a comment under this video and tell us about it. And also share this video with all of your friends.
Today we're going to show you how to make an awesome superfood smoothie recipes. And why smoothies are so good is because they're a massive injection of goodness straight into your system first thing in the morning. So that's why I love them.
I like it. They're supercharged.
They are. And when you can add all these different superfoods, it's just like a boom. How was that? I love it. Boom, it is. It's like, this is what I use. You know how some people need that coffee hit? I need my green smoothie in the morning to get me going.
Me too, absolutely. And what we're going to do today for the first one is a green smoothie. So we're going to put a whole lot of different ingredients in there, which we'll run through. This is kale. So it belongs to the Brassicaceae family. Same family as cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, all those smelly ones that your grandmother used to cook and they used to go a bit stinky in the fridge. Kale belongs to that. And the reason they get smelly is because of the sulphur. And the sulphur is really important because that's what helps to cleanse the liver. It's like a dishwasher for your liver. So a little bit of kale. Nice. I'll chop the end. You can chop the rest. You'll need to break that up a bit because we're going into the... Yeah, rip it up, Kate.
Rip it up.
Rip it up.
So our base is going to be coconut water today. And you can use any sort of nut milks. You can use raw milk, water. But we love coconuts and it's a perfect time of year to be having these. So let's pop some of that in.
We love coconuts because we're a bit coconuts here at healthtalks, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit of how to open a coconut. Coconut water is readily available now in a packaged variety, but I'm a whole foods chef and I have been for a really long time, so I like the real thing. The only thing is it's a little bit scary, so if you're under 12, you probably shouldn't try this at home. What we're going to do is get the chopper, and with the end of the chopper, you kind of just give it a bit of... Now you have to stand back, otherwise you'll have a coconut shower. So you just break through and then into what I call the bone of the coconut. So here's one I prepared earlier because otherwise it gets a bit too exciting. So I've just gone around in about 8 octagonal cuts, and then the last one I flip the lid. G'day.
You can also get the steel glove, can't you?
Yeah, I think Nat was running around with a steel glove before, but that was the oyster shucking Michael Jackson glove, which you can see at a later date. So then just peel that away, and there's a little bit of fibre inside. We'll just discard that. You can strain this, but for the purpose of having it right here, I'm going to take the jug off here. So I'm bringing the mountain to Muhammad. And then pour the coconut water in here. And why do we love coconut water?
Full of electrolytes.
Absolutely.
So it's great for after your workout to replenish.
That's it. Very hydrating. And then inside, you scoop out the flesh, which we might put a little bit in for show and tell for today. But we make a coconut yogurt out of this. So we puree it with coconut water and then we add a bit of probiotic, but that's a whole nother story. So just for the moment, we'll use a little bit of the flesh. Now, the flesh inside varies dramatically. Sometimes in the really young coconuts, these are young Thai coconuts. The Australian or coconuts that come up from Cairns and northern Queensland are bigger and more oval, more football-like. These are the Thai ones. But the flesh inside can vary from being really fine to quite thick, so you never know what you're going to get. So if you've got a specific recipe, I tend to buy 3 or 4 coconuts and take potluck.
Yep.
What else do you want to put in there?
Should we pop an apple in?
Okay, an apple a day.
An apple a day.
So we've got a good old Granny Smith apple because it's got that lovely sour crispness to it, which gives the smoothie just a little bit of a lift and not too sweet.
And should we pop some fresh mint?
Yes. So mint's energising. Rip it up.
Break those bits off. Just get dirty in the kitchen. Just get dirty. And
EFA, the superfood from Oregon. So this is an imported superfood. A lot of the superfoods we use tend to be imported. There's a few Australian ones which are absolutely fabulous, and we'll go into that in another time. But this one is a micro green algae, and it's very iridescent and shimmery. It's called
like
E3 Love. I knew you'd love that.
Yeah.
It's the bling of superfoods, isn't it? The absolute bling.
Yeah, absolutely.
So about 2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons?
That's fine.
No?
Plenty. No, that's great. No, that's heaps.
That's it?
That's heaps.
Okay.
So that's going to give you all those boosted mineral components and very alkaline as well. This is my favourite, one of my favourites. Okay, so that goes in there. Anything else you want to put in there?
I think that's good.
You want to put some protein powder in there?
Yeah, let's put a little bit of protein powder.
This is what I would have for breakfast most days. At about 10 o'clock in the morning, I would have a superfood smoothie based around this. And depending on how much water, coconut water, was in the coconut, we might need to add some water as well.
Water.
Are you ready to make a noise?
Let's do it.
Put the lid on, otherwise it's going to look like
better just turn it on down
a
here.
scene from a bad movie.
Yeah, I know. Here we go. Oh! Wasn't prepared for that one.
Look at that, hey?
Look at it go!
Oh, look at it rock.
Delicious. Actually, we don't need any water.
No, we don't.
Amazing.
Well, maybe a little bit more because it's a little bit chunky.
Okay, go.
So what I do with the blender I use is I kind of put it on the chop.
Oh, yeah.
There's a glass behind you, at the bottom there. And then...
Nice and fast, there we go.
And then you can give it the turbo.
Just the last few seconds. Go for it.
All right.
Looks amazing.
You'll love this.
I know. I'm so excited.
It's a little...
Is it clunky?
That's all right.
I like it when it's clunky though. You get your spoon in there.
Okay, cool. Okay, so it's a little bit of a thicky smoothie.
Oh, beautiful.
You can start with that one.
Should I do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think a smoothie should, you know,
Be edible, be
edible,
chewable.
be chewable.
So you should be a
cheers. Let's go. It's actually really good. It's really, really good.
It's sensational.
So there you go.
It's really good.
Do I have green in my teeth? No.
No. Would I tell you if you did? No, you don't.
No.
Okay. So you happy with that?
Yeah, there's our green superfood smoothie. Give it a go at home. It's super easy to make.
Go for it.